girl, today we're talking about dieting. That's right. Quit dieting. With a week left of 2022, we are about to head into a brand new year. And every brand new year, the biggest New Year resolution is centered around weight loss and dieting. Today, we're going to talk about how you can quit dieting and ultimately start thriving. You do not want to miss today's episode. So share this one with a friend and let's get started. Let's quit dieting so we can start living our best life and our most healthiest self. Let's go. Hey girl, welcome to the Her Best Self podcast. I'm Lindsay Nickel, former competitive figure skater and perfectionist, turned God-led imperfect boy mom and digital CEO. If you find yourself constantly thinking about food and wondering if you'll wake up one day free from the obsessive thoughts and behaviors controlling your life, then I've created this podcast for you because I know exactly what it's like to be a downright hot mess trapped in a destructive cycle of disordered eating. I finally found freedom and you can too, girlfriend. So if you're ready to heal your relationship with food and body and break the chains of control and show up in your best health, then grab your favorite Tarjay journal and let's get to it so you can start living your best life as your best self. So what dieting am I talking about? Diets themselves simply mean your daily food intake, your daily food consumption, your diet. So no, I'm not talking about quit dieting in terms of quit your healthy, balanced consumption of intake every day. The dieting I'm talking about today is fad dieting, the restriction of food for weight loss promise. If you are depriving your body long term, this is going to be very taxing, not only emotionally, but also physically. Our culture normalizes in society now that fad diets are the way to go. And unfortunately, dieting is a precursor to eating disorders. But what is crazy is the impact that culture has. Did you know that over 100 years ago, Americans actually strived for excess body fat? And at this time, it was actually viewed as healthy, more successful, and more beautiful. Doctors even said that a larger number of fat cells actually equated to a more balanced personality. Isn't that crazy to think that society has this much influence over us? Then entered the corset, dress sizes, and discovery of scientific food calories. All of this you can find on the behavioralnutrition.org site. It's extremely interesting. But according to our National Eating Disorder Association, 35% of dieters progress to chronic dieters, and 25% of those develop eating disorders. What's even more insane here is that 42% of first to third grade girls want to be thinner, 81% of 10-year-old girls are afraid of being fat, and 91% of women that are in the college landscape admitted to controlling weight with dieting, exercise, compulsion, and other means of control and restriction. So the best known environmental contributor really to the development of eating disorders in culture is our idealization of this thinness movement. When we look at the new year, and we look at the most alarmingness of it all is that everybody, it's almost like assumed that you're going to have a diet that you start on January 1st. Am I right? Americans are spending $60 billion, guys, on dieting, diet products each year. What I'm here to tell you is that these fad diets, any long-term deprivation is going to weigh heavy. And not only is it going to change your relationship with food when you start having food rules, but it's not sustainable. Why is it not sustainable? Because diets typically do not fulfill nutritional needs or food satisfaction. I talk about this all the time with my clients. And really when we're talking about intuitive eating, listening to our body and developing that natural food and body relationship without food rules, this is how we're able to essentially change the way that we view our bodies, that we view food, and we actually allow ourselves to find that healthy balance. We allow our body to tell us what it needs. There's no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong way. There's no rules. I wanted to hit home with you guys on this whole dieting thing because we really need to quit these fad diets. 95% of all dieters, National Eating Disorders Association, 95% of all dieters are going to regain their lost weight back within 1 to 5 years. And get this, greater percentage of them are also adding on additional weight. If you are someone that feels compulsive, you don't trust yourself around food, and you are constantly bargaining with your internal dialogue. Okay, I'm going to say that one more time. Constantly bargaining with your internal dialogue, meaning I eat this, I have to do this. I have to go to the gym and work out. I can restrict this, or I can eat this and then I have to do something because now I'm punishing myself because this is good and this is bad in my mind. I heard this from a business coach of mine, and I absolutely adore it. In order to change someone's life, you have to change the way they see the world. Psychological impact, as well as physical impact, is more harmful, guys, than obesity. And I know that that is downright scary because that's not necessarily what we want to hear. But all that this diet after chronic diet is doing, not only is it jacking with your body, it's not sustainable. And then it leads to these eating disorders, right? And then we're in this place of like this never ending state of how do I have a healthy relationship with food? How do I find peace with food? In order to change your life, you're going to have to change the way that you see the world. Can you imagine living 100 years ago and being praised for being a normal body weight or even healthier in terms of having extra body fat because that is going to keep you warm and keep your organs cushioned and keep your body doing the things that it needs to do to function? And then nowadays, like seeing where we are on the extreme of things, if you're hearing all of this and you identify with what I'm sharing today and you struggle with dieting and restricting or controlling food, then girl, we've got to get you to quit dieting. This new year, I am rolling out the perfect boot camp. And the only thing that you're going to need to do this new year, I've developed the Girl Quit Dieting program for women who diet every single new year and who want to stop the madness. When we continue to do the same thing over and over and over every single year and we expect different results, that's insanity, right? So why are we expecting to get healthier or expecting to have a better relationship with food, but then continuing to do the same thing over and over that got us here in the first place? This is an extremely sticky slope. And I'm not saying everyone that goes on the keto diet or everyone that goes on the low carb diet is going to develop anorexia or bulimia. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying a healthy, balanced relationship with food is a relationship without rules. Think about a toddler. And I've talked about this before, but think about a toddler. Do they go, oh, I can't have this because if I have this, then I'm going to have to exercise, or if I do this, then I'm going to beat myself up later, or oh my gosh, I don't want another cookie. I don't know about you guys, but if I were to drop a whatever in front of my kids' faces, they would eat until they didn't enjoy it or weren't hungry anymore. And it had nothing to do with food rules. It had nothing to do with what other people thought. It had nothing to do with their bodies. It was simply how I feel in this moment about what I'm eating and what my body needs. That is 101 intuitive eating. When we've had these unhealthy relationships with food and we've had diets, all these different diets promising us all these different results, you guys, would you be here listening to this podcast if you got the result that you wanted out of your diet? Because all these diets are selling that you're going to lose weight and you're going to love your life and you're going to be healthy. what that does is it sells a promise that was never intended to be delivered in the first place. It creates that obsessive compulsive experience in our minds. And I look back on my personal journey, and before I started a diet, I had no clue. I just listened to what my body wanted. During that process, I became very good at macros and like scientifically counting calories. And then it formed into that obsession very, very quickly. Well, the problem with that is you can't undo what you learn, right? I mean, I can't go back in time and say, I wish I didn't know how to calculate calories. I wish that I didn't find a diet that told me to eat 1,200 calories a day and tell me that was healthy. I can't go back in time and do that. But what I can do is start now, or start choosing a change to do something today that's going to develop my tomorrow away from where I currently am, so that I can start living a life that I was intended to live, that does not consume food rules or thinking about food and trying to control my lifestyle around my weight or food. Does this sound like you? Is food controlling your life? Whether or not you have an eating disorder or you experience disordered eating behaviors, it must be alarming to hear that 95% of dieters are going to regain the weight that they lost and have a greater chance of adding on additional weight, because this wasn't supposed to occur in the first place. Diets aren't sustainable. Why? Because they don't fulfill nutritional needs or food satisfaction. I want you guys to think about when someone tells you you can't have something, your mind subconsciously becomes aware of the thing that you can't have. So it starts popping up and becoming a desire. I know this sounds kind of wonky, right? As soon as you limit the amount of carbs you can have into your diet, start wondering why you start thinking about carbs all the time. And for many of us, that creates a binge pattern, because then that's all we're desiring. It's like our body wants what we're not allowing it to have. But when there are no rules, think about a teenager. Like when we do so much strict rules as a parent, right? Like our teenager does the complete opposite just to push back on us. But when we have these healthy boundaries, i.e. our food relationship, like nothing is off limits, nothing's good or bad. It's just like moderation and listening to what our body needs naturally. Then it doesn't feel like I really, really want this because I'm not allowing myself to have it in the first place and then shaming myself later. It doesn't turn into those negative behavioral patterns. So today I want to encourage you, if this is you and you're really struggling right now because it's about to be a new year and you're going to start seeing all this stuff about dieting, I want to challenge you to do something different this year. And that's why I've created the Girl Quit Dieting program, because I truly feel like we need to diet from diets. Like we need to stop dieting. We need to start living. What can we be doing instead of eliminating things out of our diet? What can we be doing to embrace our life, our bodies, our relationship with food, so that we have a healthier, balanced life and diet? So that's the goal of this program, and I do wish that you will join me. I will link in my website here, which will have more details, and we're not going to be starting it on January 1st of the new year because, again, all the hype, right? I want to allow some of that time to go down because I truly feel we've got to stop engaging in this $60 billion industry, because it's only getting worse, and thus leading to, again, that precursor of so many teenagers and young girls and guys and athletes that are getting pulled into this restriction pattern. We were created with a purpose, for a purpose. We were created to live holistic lives, intuitive lives, listening to our soul, listening to what our body needs. We can't expect our bodies to thrive when we're controlling everything that goes inside of our bodies. Diets aren't sustainable. Restriction of food for weight loss gain is not something that we should be normalizing. So if you're dealing with all of these things, I want you to just be encouraged today. You're not alone. You're not. It's just the way that, unfortunately, our society and culture has gone. But with the Girl Quit Dieting approach, we focus on breaking and quitting that dieting cycle, what it does to your physical, emotional, and psychological state, we create a battle plan for you to make peace with your plate and find healing in your relationship with your body and yourself. And then we incorporate proven principles to integrate intuitive and holistic strategy. And what does this do? It gets you back to who you were made to be in the first place, before you had an unhealthy relationship with yourself and your food. Because the less dieting you do, the more thriving you can start doing. Girl, you deserve a life that's free from all of this mess. You deserve a life is full of all the good things, all of the amazing things. And when you're stuck in these cycles of New Year diet resolutions, not only do you cause yourself to lose hope and trust because you don't stick with things, but you also create the psychological drama. And we have to stop doing it. We've got to quit dieting. If this episode has helped you today, I would encourage you to share it with a friend. I just want to thank you for listening. My heart is so full that I'm able to come here on this platform. And in the past couple months of speaking to the world, I have helped thousands of women. My heart is so blessed and grateful, and I am so humbled. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing this message. And if this resonated with you, I encourage you to rate and review the show, because that's how we get found. That's the biggest thank you that you could give to me, is to rate and review the show. Just remember that in order to change your life, you're going to have to change the way that you see the world, and you're going to have to change something that you do in order to heal this dysfunctional relationship with food and body controlling your life. We're going to have to walk this out together and untangle the patterns that have gotten you here in the first place. So if you're ready, I'm ready for you. Come check us out. Make sure you get on my email list. You can do so at lindsaynickel.com, and you will get all the details for when we begin this program. Let's break the cycle of dieting so that we can start showing up as our best, most healthiest self. Talk to you soon. Oh, friend, thank you so much for letting me share what was on my heart today. My hope for this podcast is to help more women find freedom from food and body. If this has empowered or blessed you, let me know. I'd be honored for your rating and review of my show, and I'd love to connect with you in my private Facebook community. You really can move from perfection to purpose. Let's break the chains together. I'll help navigate the way. Until next time, bye for now, girl.